Horns. Okay, it's directed by a guy called Alexandre Ager, and tells a story of a guy. Basically, he's in the aftermath of his girlfriend's mysterious death, and a young man awakens to find that strange horns have sprouted from his temples. That is basically the premise of the film. So basically, Alexandre Ager, he's directed the remake of The Hills of Eyes, Mirrors, and Piranha 3D. So he's done a lot of quite grimy, grotty sort of horror films, and I really sort of felt like this one he was trying to make it sort of more clever, and it's starring one of the most famous faces in Hollywood. Did he succeed in really selling this film as to be something much better than he's previously done? No, not really, unfortunately. Daniel Radcliffe is the selling point of this film. His face is on all the buses, it's on all the posters, and the really sort of difficult thing about his character was that I really didn't like his character, and that is a big issue throughout any film. You've got to kind of like the lead protagonist. If you think about your favourite films, the lead protagonist, you have to like him, you have to get on with him, you have to relate to him a bit. Otherwise, the film is just gonna fall apart. And I found myself sort of not caring for his character.
Yeah.
And that was such a huge issue, because if I don't care, then I'm not going to care what's going to happen in the rest of the film. And that for me was just really, really sort of difficult to get into. The most terrifying thing in the film really was his attempt of an American accent, because it really was just shocking.
You get that a lot with, I think American TV do it a lot when they try and do British accents, or you have British people go over there and they have to go and put on an American accent, and it's just... Yeah,
and
then I think sometimes as well, sort of children's shows over there, they have a British person come on and they have to put on a British accent that the Americans think we sound
understand.
like. So it's like you've gone over, you've put on a British accent when you could just talk normally, which I guess is a British
I know,
accent.
yeah. And I mean, the thing is, you only need to see the trailer actually to see how sort of horrific the accent is. I mean, it's kind of like the sort of the over the top, kind of like, "Hey man, how you doing?" sort of thing. It's so sort of like just Yankee in it, and it's actually just quite funny, and it really sort of distracts from what I feel like the film is actually trying. So basically, to say.
There's more focus on his accent rather than the film.
Yeah, well, that was all I was thinking about in the film. Yeah, and. I really felt like the film was just trying to be clever with it. The director was trying to be clever with the film, and he said, I've had my fun with excessive violence in the past with all of these other films that I've made. I really want to focus on a story. And the thing that it doesn't. The truth is, the film is still grotty, it's still grimy, it's still rather boring and just completely negative. The thing that really frustrated me was I could see what he was trying to do, and actually, the idea of the film, it isn't a bad idea. The premise of sort of everyone else seeing you as this demon figure, and as suddenly you do actually start to sprout horns, and you actually sort of you seem to have it physically, so that people can see it instead of just seeing it inside you. I think actually that's quite an interesting, it's quite an interesting idea for a film. I just think it was rather poorly executed, So I mean, all in all, I really just don't think that you'll be missing anything if you're a really sort of die-hard horror fan, then maybe just go and see what it's like. But it's if you choose to miss it, you're certainly not missing anything.
I guess either that or a Daniel Radcliffe fan, I guess.
Or even so, just you'll be laughing all the way through, sort of like I did.
Yeah.
And bored. What I would sort of say about sort of like the tone of the film is that, as I was sort of saying before, it is very negative. It is, there's nothing that kind of resides within you that makes you sort of go, oh yeah, no, this is positive. This is quite interesting. I like that. You can go away and see quite a tough film, but you can still come out saying, okay, that was interesting. I'm really thinking about this. But there is nothing about this film that I thought was remotely interesting, really, or positive, or so it actually just kind of makes you go, oh, that's just really sort of negative. Basically, the facial expression that Daniel Radcliffe has throughout the entire film of just sort of like, oh, I'm really miserable. That's what you are like when you come out. There is nothing remotely positive about it. So just for that reason, just don't bother. Just see something else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What between that and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which one would you say was the better film?
Oh my goodness! Well, they're both horrific for completely different reasons. But I've just given away what I'm going to say about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But no, they're. I can see what Horns is trying to do, almost, but I cannot see what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is diabolical. Horns, you can see potential, but seeing potential isn't the same as having potential. Yeah. Absolutely not.
So, you'd say Horns was the better of the two that you've seen?
I don't think we should do this. I really don't, because I don't know what to say. See something else.